Hey, hi everyone, this is French Vinyl Addict and I'm back from France, well, from Europe, as I did travel across Europe last month, like Germany, Spain, and France, obviously, as you know, if you watch my channel. So yeah, I'm back, and in this video, I will be reviewing all the purchases I made once there, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I will probably make like several parts, part one, part two. Yeah, as I found some cool copies once there and quite a lot of records during my European vacation. But yeah, without further ado, let's start with the first batch of all these cool copy records on vinyl I found in Europe. The first batch I found in a very cool store. This is my ex favorite place when it came to go record shopping back in the days when I was still living there in France. And I made a video on my channel, Les Échos du Rock, that's the name of the place, in beautiful city of Guebwiller in the northeastern part of France, very close to Germany, the Black Forest. And yeah, I went back to see my buddy Eric, the manager of the store, and was very cool to meet up with him. We had a very cool chit chat for about 1 hour, and once again he recommended me some cool stuff I had never heard of, and including that one. And this is a heavy blues rock from Japan, a band I've never ever heard of. Blues Creation. They later released some albums under the name Creation. I think from 75. This is 71. This has never been released back then on vinyl. This is a concert recorded in August 71. And yeah, they were pretty busy back in those days. This band, founded by Kazuo Takeda, like playing in every festival, like almost every festival gigs in 70, throughout 70 and 71. And yeah, they played on that concert, and a few days later released not one but two studio albums. Very interesting if you have a chance to find one. One it's called a Demon and 11 Children, and another one which is very interesting and highly collectible items. I will try to put some picture if I have a chance to find, with Carmen Maki. And very cool Carmen Maki, folk singer. I think her father, she was born in Japan, but her father was American something. So yeah, she started as a folk singer. She joined a band, so she played uh, on that Empty Heart and the art which that appear on the album as well, on the studio album. And yeah, she later worked with Carmine Pais or Carmine Apis. I never knew how to pronounce his name. Iconic early 80s musician. And Kazuo Takeda went to London later and to the US, and he was friend with Felix Pappalardi from the band Mountain as well, as you know. And I think they played together when Mountain toured in '73. So and it's some great underrated musician. This is Blues Creation. Yeah, you just have to check it out if you like the early '70s blues, heavy blues rock. And yeah, another stuff I found in the store. This is a band, Budgie, and Budgie is quite interesting. This is in my musical journey. This is, how to say, the missing puzzle piece, the missing piece I was missing, to sort of bridge the gap between late '60s hard rock such as Blue Cheer or very early Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, and the late '70s like Saxon, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. I was listening to when I was like 14, 15 years. I had never heard. So I'm really glad, and every time I could find a copy of Budgie. And this is part of Eric's private collection, so it's really cool. This is an album I think he bought. This is an album released in '75. This is a re-release from '85, I think. Yeah, '85. Pristine copy, as I said, one of his private collection. So yeah, this is mid '70s heavy rock, almost progressive if you consider the the Napoleon Bonaparte one, Bonaparte two, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, budgie, and I really like the cover, the design. Budgie, and he had another budgie in his store. This is an '81 album, and you recognize the artwork. Yes, you recognize the same guy who drew the cover of Iron Maiden, Derek Riggs, and this is more early '80s stuff, like AOR. I could say like radio friendly stuff. A little bit more, a little bit less progressive, a little bit less bluesy, I would say, and yeah, with some cool ballads as well. So it's still an interesting copy. And he had in his store a band I'm really into right now. This is Steve's all over the stage. Steve's favorite debut album. He was mentioning in his vinyl prog tag. This is the band Jane. Jane, German prog band. No, it's not that prog. I think at that time they were like a German psychedelic hard rock band, like massive use of organ, and yeah, it's very interesting. As you know, I'm very into prog progressive music, and that label Brain was a very iconic label in Germany. They had bands like Novalis, not like Grobschnitt, just to name a few, and it's at first German press released on the Brain label, a green Brain label. So I couldn't. It's an offer I couldn't refuse. Uh, there's still the name of that previous person he owned as a Swiss guy, and yeah, it's a very clean copy. So I couldn't say no. I took it back home. So yeah, this is all the albums I found in Eric's place, Les Échos du Rock, and then I had a chance to go to Germany. Germany in a small fair, small record show in Karlsruhe. When I met up with Timo. Timo, great guy. He has a channel, Vinyl und, fellow member of the German vinyl community. Was so good to meet up with Timo and to share a drink with him. And thanks for the beer, Timo. The beers, Timo, and yeah, really interesting. And I couldn't find some interesting stuff once there. But I went a second time in Freiburg. Freiburg is a small city, a middle-sized city in the Black Forest in Germany, and it was pretty cool to walk in a store and to see a decent section of krautrock. You know, we were in Germany typically, so this was the record store. I made a short video once there, and in that place I find some cool stuff as well. So starting with another Jane record. This is their following album. This is their second one they released after. The other one I forgot to mention was called Together. So this is yeah, this is a typical Floydian. Some people compare to Pink Floyd. Clearly, it's not Rick Wright who plays the keyboard. It's like very secondal chords. Yeah, it's still interesting. Here we are. It's probably my favorite album when I if I have to compare between all the one I purchased. This is a later repress, as you know. The label has started to evolve a little bit. It's not a green label any longer, but it's still interesting. So this is Jane, and they had another Jane later, a bit more progressive. That one released in '76. It's sort of a concept album. Yeah, with the track a little bit more longer than the previous one. They try to do some sort of concept thing. The band Jane wouldn't buy all their material, as I said, but you know, I was in Germany. This is a pristine copy, originally released on the Brain label, so I just took it back home. And I found another interesting copy. This is the band called Tangerine Dream, very iconic band. When you consider krautrock, electronic music, I already had Fedra copy released on the previous year, and it was very cool to find a German press of that one. They make use of Mellotron electronic piano and a massive use of Moog 960 sequencer. So very interesting compositions. They've done several soundtracks as well. I know my friends from the French vinyl community, they often mention this band as they did some they participate in some movie soundtrack. Rubicon, yeah, it's probably the one. I prefer Fedra to be honest, but it's still interesting to own a copy of that one if you are into those kind of stuff. And last but not least, something I already talked about several times on my channel. My copy was pretty, I wouldn't say poor, but my copy was not like perfect in my collection. And they were this in Germany on a church main square, sometimes you have some people, they sell like used books and records. You have some crates, some really cool, and you can have some really cool price. And yeah, I was just looking around and I found that one, this album, Selling England by the Pound, 73, one of my favorite progressive album of all time. Sound a bit more modern when compared to the previous one because of the ARP Pro Soloist. Tony Banks incorporated in his arsenal. The producer grasped the essence of the band, so this is a treat for the ears. And yeah, as I said, the copy I had was not very cool, very good. And this guy was selling a UK press, almost like, very clean, for about $11. So I couldn't really refuse $11, so €10. So I was like checking all the details. Hey, is it possible? €10, and so I just took it back home. So yeah, this is it. I think part one is over. I will be doing part two with some other stuffs I found in Spain and in the southern part of France, maybe in a later video. So this is it for today. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next chapter. Bye bye.